Let me introduce myself. Andrew and I run this channel together. Our goal is to educate you so that you can defend your own digital footprint and stay safe online. Now, it's very interesting. They say as you focus on something, the more it persists in your life. Well, I have a prime example that arrived in my inbox as we're talking about defending your digital footprint. And I think you might find it very interesting. And I would find it very interesting to see if this happened to you. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm a Silicon Valley veteran with over 2 decades of experience. I'm actually a growth hacker, and I've successfully growth hacked for a billion-dollar company. In addition to that, my expertise is in artificial intelligence, specifically in the world of autonomous vehicles, of which I've worked in operations for 2 different trillion-dollar companies. And oh, by the way, I am a former Google X employee. This channel is today focusing on theft. Google got caught with my private pictures and they posted them online. So again, I'm very curious if this has happened to you. Go ahead and comment in the comment box. So what happened? I opened my inbox, which is of course Gmail, and I got an email that was titled, subject line, "A lot of people are seeing your photo on Google Maps." And I thought, what? How can that be? I don't use Google Maps. I don't put location on my phone, and I don't upload any of my pictures for Facebook or general social media or anything with children. I'm very, very cautious. So how are people seeing my pictures on Google Maps? So I looked at the email, and it looks at Google Maps, no reply at google.com. So google.com is a corporate email. It doesn't look like I'm being phished. So I went ahead and looked at this a little bit further. Again, the date is here. It came in on August 25th. That would have been yesterday. And on the left side here, I posted something interesting. It posted the coordinates of the picture. On the right side here, it shows that this particular picture has had over 6,000 views. And then their message to me is a template, of course, 5,000 views on your photo. See your photos. So this is the start of delving into what happened. Now let me point out once again, I do not ever, I don't mean sometimes, I mean never. I do not upload pics to Google. I do not use Google Maps, and I don't allow location information on my cell. So here we go. As I clicked on that, see your photos, this page comes up. It talks about contributions, reviews, photos, edits, and then it goes over how many pictures that I have, how many views, and then the pictures, all 31 were listed down below. So Google Maps allegedly stole my private pictures off my Android phone in June 2020. The date listed was June 8th, 2020, so a few months ago. They tracked my location and stole pictures, but what's extra interesting are these next 2 points. First of all, we were on a trip, and on that trip, I had taken hundreds of pictures, and in fact, there's almost 1,000 pictures on my phone. And I mentioned I don't back up to the cloud, so the pictures are on my phone. Out of all those pictures, 31 were selected and uploaded to Google Maps. Now, again, I was on a military base. I had taken hundreds of pictures. Why were none of the other pictures grabbed? Now, out of the 31 pictures, there were 2 that were of scenery. The other 29 were of children. Some of them were children in military uniforms on the military base, and some were of children in bathing suits on the military base. These are personal photos. They are not for public view. And this is extra important to note that this is the year in 2020 of Save the Children, and be careful of people's whereabouts. Stop individuals from being trafficked. There's a lot of conversations here. So again, why was my information tracked and taken from a military base? And second, why were the photos of the children what were taken? I'm sure there's a lot more to look into, and although we're not going to go down the rabbit hole, we are going to explore what happened here. So again, 36,000 plus views of my personal photos. And after researching, I saw that it was in fact Google Maps that allegedly stole 31 pictures from my phone that had been viewed over 36,000 times. Again, I will reiterate, we don't use Facebook or other social media to post general pictures, and we don't use cloud backup of the images. These pictures were on my cell phone. So what happened? Silicon Valley thinks that they can do anything they want and ask for forgiveness later. Google Maps was told to boost users. So what happens is somebody from executives says, hey, we're looking at different departments to cut unless you can show one of two things. One, massive traction in revenue, or category two, massive traction in eyeballs, users or viewers. Because users translates to how much they can sell ad space for. Now, as you might know, that about 2 years ago, Google Maps changed its format from perhaps driving down a road. They might suggest turn left at the light with the street name University Avenue as an example. Then all of a sudden there were some companies that were paying to have their names mentioned. So without mentioning their names, it might be at the light, turn left at the X, Y, and Z restaurant. However, instead of saying it once, they would make it very obvious and repeat it 2 more times. So the company would get their name mentioned as you were turning a corner, and if you happen to be hungry because it's close to lunchtime, then bingo, direct advertisement right from a map system that you think you're using for free. And yet it's tracking where you are and providing you tools that you hope you will use in corporate spend money, and thus translates back to revenue for them. So in this case, somebody from executive offices says, hey, wait, Google Maps needs more eyeballs. So they're told to boost users. They have a meeting, decide how they're going to do this, and an engineer decides, hey, I can hack into Google apps that are already on cell phones and help ourselves to images. So this is clearly a possibility of what happened. Anytime you put apps on your phone, companies have open access to the data on your phone. Many require restrictions. However, as we've seen even with geofencing that have been applied in, well, we won't go into particular names, but we all know who did the geofencing and got caught over at Apple. But what happens is you put an app on and you have unlocked your front door, and anybody can walk in and take what they want if they're associated with that app. So in this case, what probably happened is a Google engineer decided they would help out their team by boosting users. They accessed another app that is already on the phone. In this case, I have an Android phone and I do use Gmail. Bingo, there's the door. And then they scraped what they wanted. But what happened here is then Google Maps marketing department would have decided, wait a minute, let's push out emails to all the great people who are helping us build maps and support them and let them know that, hey, your effort is being helpful, your pictures are getting viewed, let's go ahead and upload more pictures. But oops, they got caught because I don't upload pictures, I didn't have my location on, and I didn't give permission to participate in their program. So let's look at this page again. At the very top, it says 0 contributions. Yep, no contributions. So how do they get my pictures? Down here it shows 31 pictures with over 36,000 views. And then below that they give the whole stream of pictures. I went ahead and left one there just for the screenshot, but all the others I have gone in and deleted. However, because they were scraped and put here, I don't know how many were copied or how many were sold or where they are on the web by now. But this one particular picture has almost 30,000 views. Kudos to me. I don't think so. Theft is a crime. Breaking into someone's home is a crime. Following people you don't know is called stalking. Well, unless of course you're a tech company, then theft is called scraping or hacking. Let me review again what scraping is. Simple code can be written to access a software program, a database, something with information, and you literally have the code move in and scrape the data away, make a copy of it, and put it somewhere else. Often the user does not even know that the data has been taken, and on the other side, the organization that has scraped the data can now repackage it, use it for data analytics, can sell it, whatever they want to do with it. They now have a pure copy. Apps are secretly granted access to all phone data. So every time we put apps on our phone, we're giving different organizations the key to all our points of contact, all of our pictures, all of our whereabouts, everything that's on that phone. So many people even usually have location on because, hey, it's easy to use mapping software and have it tell us where to go. People tag pictures and they upload their information to social media, and realistically the chances of a scenario like Google Maps taking pictures and getting caught are very minimal. But being caught in the tech world means, hey, high five for innovation. Now let's step back a little bit. We're in 2020 now, but do we all remember just 2 years ago when the EU changed their privacy policies on companies protecting personal information? Well, in fact, Google and all tech companies operating in the EU had to update their privacy policies accordingly. And in fact, they had to abide by it. So what was the easiest thing to do? For 18 years, as part of Google's code of conduct, they had used the term "don't be evil." May 21st of 2018, all the mass news articles, and in this one I copied one from zdnet.com for May 2020 by the author Liam Tung, noted that they just dropped the "don't be evil." Doesn't that make you question a company that starts out to truly help out this planet and solve problems, and whatever they've gotten themselves into, it's easier just to drop "don't be evil" rather than stand up for their values? Now, in the intro, I mentioned something interesting. I am a former Google ex-employee. This was not an accident. This is not an oops. This scraping of the data was planned. Google got caught with my private pictures and they posted them online. This is theft any way you look at it, and it's a very dangerous game for tech companies to play, especially with minors. If you like this video, you might want to check out the previous video we posted, and that one was an 8-year-old schools a former Facebook employee for getting locked out of his Facebook account. It's a lesson on how to protect your passwords and use independent, unique passwords for each site rather than using third-party sign-on in order to access various applications and websites. All right, Toodaloo.